Caesar's victories had unsettled the Gallic tribes. Many rightly predicted Caesar would seek to conquer all of Gaul. While Caesar was wintering in Hither Gaul, frequent rumors were brought to him that all the Belgae were conspiring against Rome and giving hostages each to other.
I discovered which states were armed, their size, and military strength. I recognized that most of the Belgae were of German origin and had settled in their current location due to the fertile soil, having driven out the Gauls who previously inhabited the area. The Belgae were known as the only nation that prevented the Teutoni and Cimbri from entering their borders during a time when all of Gaul was being harassed, and because of this, they held great authority and pride in military matters.
Caesar set off with 2 more legions than the year before, with 32,000 to 40,000 men, along with a contingent of auxiliaries. The exact number of men the Gauls raised is unknown, but Caesar claims he would fight 200,000. Caesar marched against the Belga tribal confederation, who inhabited the area roughly bounded by modern-day Belgium. They had recently attacked a tribe allied with Rome, and before marching with his army to meet them, Caesar ordered the Remi and other neighboring Gauls to investigate the Belgae's actions. The Belgae and the Romans encountered each other near Bibrax. The Belgae attempted to take the fortified main settlement from the Remi, but were unsuccessful and chose instead to raid the nearby countryside. Each side tried to avoid battle, as both were short on supplies. Caesar ordered fortifications built, which the Belgae understood would give them a disadvantage. He left the 2 newly recruited legions in the camp as a reserve and built the remaining 6 in battle order. The enemy also withdrew their troops from the camp and built them up. There was a swamp between the 2 armies, and each side was waiting for the enemy to cross it first, in order to catch the enemy at the crossing and destroy him. At the same time, a mounted battle was going on, but neither side started the crossing. The mounted battle was more successful for the Romans, and the Belga cavalry retreated. Caesar then led his army back to the camp. The Belgae did not return to their camp, but moved to the Axona River. There they found a ford and tried to cross part of their forces to capture the crossing guarded by Quintus Titurius and destroy the bridge. And if this failed, then to devastate the country of the Rems, from which the supply for the Romans, and cut off Caesar from food supplies. As soon as Caesar learned about it, he sent to the place of crossing all the cavalry and riflemen. The Romans managed to catch the Belga at the moment of crossing, after which a fierce battle ensued. Those who had already managed to cross were surrounded by Roman cavalry and killed. The Romans threw back the Belgae, who were crossing next, with a hail of slinger stones. Having been deceived in their hopes for a crossing, the Belgae themselves began to feel a lack of food. So they called a meeting. At the meeting, they decided to go home, believing that it would be better to fight back the Romans in the area they would invade. According to this decision, they moved northward with great noise and shouting without any order. The whole movement was more like running away, for everyone wanted to go first and get home as soon as possible.
When I learned about the retreat of the enemy, I did not send a pursuit because I did not know the true reason for the retreat of the Belgae. However, at dawn, the reason for their retreat became known to me, and I immediately sent forward cavalry and legions to disturb the rearguard of the enemy.
The last ranks of the rearguard halted and gave a brave but hopeless fight. The Belgae, who were in front, thought themselves already safe, and when they heard the shouts behind them, they scattered, as there was no longer any leadership over them. Thus, the Romans without any risk killed a lot of enemies, and only with the passage of the sun returned to the camp. This victory allowed Caesar to proceed with the conquest of northern Gallia,